Wow. Hello out there. Good to see you once again. Watch this video on short put masterclass coaching. This is video number 5. We have successfully finished the first tranche of the video series. It's divided into 3 tranches, and the first 4 videos have been analysis, personal distinction analysis. We're going to run some other series on personal development strategies. And then lastly, the personal devolution strategies. We believe by the time you put all of this together, you will be fully aware and be able to realize all that you have and carry from your inside to the outside, and be able to give a vivid description and definition of who you are inside out as you begin to touch your water table and solve problems in the world. So today we have the first topic on the second trench, which is how to strike your water table. So this is video number 5 on masterclass short put coaching. How do I strike my water table? You remember in the previous videos, your water table has been a very critical issue we've been treating. So you haven't watched them, please go on to the YouTube and watch them accordingly. It is your loaded content and your coded content sitting deep beneath your personality. Your water table is your inner resources beyond your mind and your wildest imagination. It is depth within you yet to be harnessed and tapped. Your water table is wired and woven within you as a person. So you are the only one, incidentally, who has the authority to tap your water table. The realm where you are able to touch, tame, and transfer critical values and virtues as solutions to human problems and challenges is that realm of your water table. Your water table, you want to hear more about it, is life beyond skills and abilities. Skills are good, abilities are great, but beyond that, beneath your personality, in the deepest of your resources, are your own personal resources. In its base, your water table reality. It bounces back on your skills and relevant abilities as it converts the same to solution in your world. So contribution from your water table in effect make your skills and competence a solution to your world. To strike your water table takes us to a great difference between contact and connection. How do you strike your water table? You need to be able to differentiate between just making contact and connection. And the gap between the two is your ability to strike your water table as you move from contacting it to connecting with it. So, what's the difference out there? When do I begin to connect? It is after you have struck it. It's not enough touching it and contacting it. You will have to necessarily connect it in order to have a flow. So let's differentiate between the contact phase and the connecting phase of your water table. 10 differences stand out. Number 1, when you are in the contact phase, it is a 3-stage phase. Before you contact it, when you contact it, and after you've contacted it. That's the contact phase. While in connection phase, in the opposite of it, it is a one-off stage needing to be sustained. You are able to contact it and hit it at once. A connection begins, which we need to sustain. The second difference between contact and connection is simply that when you are making contact with your water table, you make unconscious dabbling into inner issues. You just wangle your way into it. But when you make critical connection, you know what? Issues become real to you on your inside. You know what it is and for what it should be for. Because you are no longer just walking into an unconscious thing that comes upon you suddenly and you come out of it. It becomes a real life situation, an experience, of course. Then the third differences between them both is that in contact phase, you just sense a feeling, while in connection phase, you touch the issue on the inside. Because in your water table are the issues of life. So you touch it deliberately. It is more than a sensing. In your water table number 4, you have little or no knowledge when you make contact. But it's not so when you connect. When you connect, it's a personal knowledge, a decision out of fundamental knowledge is what happens. Number 5, the contact phase to your water table is a revelation within, while the connection phase is a demonstration inside you as well. So both of them happen inside you. One reveals it to you, the other says, now that it has been revealed, demonstrate it within yourself first before you make an attempt out there to serve it to your world in critical solutions. Point number 6, another major difference between contact phase of your water table and the connecting phase is that in contact phase, there's no permanent grasp. You only understand very little about the phenomenon. While in connection phase, it is a more permanent grip upon your person because you know what it is, for what it should flow out for. Number 7, when you operate at the level of contact phase, it is a peck and go phenomenon. Meanwhile, when you can connect critically, it is a peck and grow phenomenon. In contact, you peck only to go, but in connection, you peck to grow thereby. So you are either touching and going or touching and growing by the reason of the connection established. Number 8, when you are at the contact phase of your water table, you look unorganized. Wow. But when you are in connection phase, you are organized. And that's a major difference there. Number 9, in contact phase with your water table, you are not the one in control. But when you are in connection phase, you are firmly in charge because you know what is happening and you give it all that it takes within and outside you to ensure harmony between your water table and what you are projecting out. So last but not the least, as per their differences, when you are in contact phase, you don't enjoy a consistent flow and there are no frequent flaws for you to manifest your flows. But it's not so in the connection phase. Your inherent flow gets you out there to certain flaws where you begin to make deposit and touch lives for good. So given these 10 basic differences, how then do I strike my water table in order to move from just contact to credible connection? What does it mean to strike one's water table? One, it means your capacity to convert contact into credible connection. Until you are able to move from just mere contact to connection, nothing works. Number two, it is turning the searchlight inward within you to be able to locate what obtains in the deep. What deep? Your deeper self within you. And how do you achieve this? You deliberately begin to separate yourself for meditation, solitude, thoughtfulness, positive impartation, mindfulness. When you give it all of this, you know what? You will begin to hear yourself and see from within and know what to do and how best to do it. So what does it mean to strike your water table? It means you are turning your flow from the within into certain line of thoughts that go ahead to form your imaginations. So how do you strike your water table? You write down your experiment and a new observation. Must be able to put it down. Then another way is to turn into new experience through conscious repetition. Whatever you have made out of it, turn it to conscious repetition, because repetition is a gateway to perfection. The more you say it and rehearse it, the more it begins to overwhelm you from the inside. And before too long, you hit your water table and catch into the flow thereat. So to strike your water table, you need to carry out certain activities that are required. With what you have found, you need to speak it out loud where it matters. You also need to maintain the rule of personalization. Own that experience and be able to see it as an integral part of you. And then number 10, contact and connect with your water table mentor to help you as far as modeling is concerned and mentoring. Some of these trainings are not such a one you can just do alone. You need to be coached and modeled so that you can make the difference. So what is the modeling phase we are talking about here? It is a phase of realization, a phase of critical connection out there. It is a phase of massive observation required for certain action. It is a phase of packaging in order to own your own. And it is a phase of getting accustomed to build your personal frameworks. These are very critical issues in today's episode. Don't just make contact. Make up your mind to connect. So when you connect, what happens? There's exchange from whichever level to the other level. Why? Because you are connected. There will be inflow into you on a very critical note. So what do? Turn your contacts into connection within, and you will discover that you are touching a realm greatly needed for transformation of a generation. So that is it for today. So what are the assignments against next week? Number 1, mention 5 evidences of the contact experiences you have had with your personal water table. Question number 2, which 3 areas do you need to critically connect with your inside? Can you see and visualize 3 areas it occurs to you need to connect with your spirit? Question number 3, can you practically differentiate between dabbling into issues and coming out, and then your flow on a positive note? Can you differentiate? And then make an attempt to strike your own water table and present your experience for vetting. I'd like to thank you so very much for participating in the second trench. Like I said, you've not watched the previous video, please go back to the YouTube and watch number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. This is the 5th video in that order. Introduce the masterclass coaching to friends, well-wishers, and relations as we meet on the water group Whatsup module to continue the discussion. Do all your assignment and submit so that you can have help to be well packaged, well nourished, even as we minimize the damages around. Thank you so very much, and see you once again. Cheers.